Good morning, everyone. I hope we are doing fine. So, welcome to another session in Enoch's Hub class. And I'm very sure we've been learning a lot. We've been learning a lot from the previous classes, and I'm confident that today's one will not be any different. Okay, so let's get started. The last class we had, we explained we the last class we had on Excel, we talked about introduction to Excel and Excel interface. So now I think what we are going to be doing today is going to be the practical of what we learned before, or what we learned about Excel and Excel interface, right? We are going to be using data sets, real data sets to do all this. Okay, so the first thing I want us to know is that let me just remind you how to load your data set. You go to this file. If you have an empty sheet or something, or you want to load the data set, you just go to your file and then can if you want a new worksheet or a workbook, a new workbook rather, and then this is open if you want to open the data set from your gallery. Okay, so we have this one. I sent these two data sets to the group, this particular one and this one. So I I want to urge us that as we are watching this video, you should have your laptop with you, and whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm saying, please um please do it should be a practical class, right? So whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm doing, you to work on it. With this, you are going to gain mastery of whatever is being taught. Okay, so I'm sure we know these things are called tabs, and then this under each tabs we have ribbons under them. And one thing I want to explain is this. I want you to know about this quick access toolbar, because when you are using Excel for your analysis, there are some things that are always very stressful to do. They're always very, very, very stressful to do. A very good example, sometimes you might be working, you might be engrossed in your work, you might be enjoying it, you might be enjoying it, and then you want to do something. Maybe what you want to do is far. Maybe you are working on, maybe you are typing something, and then you want to get your charts. I don't know, to some people it might be stressful getting your charts again. Like, okay, you just have to click on insert and then check your chart. That's why this quick access toolbar is there. It's basically for you to the tools you use more often, you save them here. So instead of just like checking, looking for it and searching for it, or maybe we are doing something, just go to insert, you can easily put it here so you can find it easily. So let me just remove this one, because actually I use sort a lot. I use sort a lot, and I use this filter a lot, because sometimes I might be working on a data set and I just add filter to it. Then I use pivot tables a lot. Then I use charts a lot. So I just added this to my toolbar. So let me remove this quick access toolbar. Let me remove this one. So let me add it back. Okay. This is what I actually want to add. This recommended chart. I want to add it back to my toolbar. So I'll just right click so you can see add to quick access toolbar. So I just added it. That's how to add a particular tool to your quick access toolbar. And we should can see this here, this thing here, this is our zoom slider. You can see, can increase it, that's you are zooming out, and then you can zoom in too. So basically that's what it is for. And yes, I think I should talk about status bar. You can see this, there is something we call status bar in Excel. What status bar basically does is that it gives an overview of your column, right? So you can see this PARCH, I selected it, and then you can see the average of everything here is 0.38 blah 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 38. Okay, let me 3815933715. You can see the total count is 892. The numeric count, that means the count of the numbers. This tool is actually very good for numbers. It is good for numbers because you are going to get different numeric summaries, something like that, like your count, your minimum, maximum, and average. So you can see the numeric count. That's 891 input here, actually numbers. Then the minimum is 0, maximum is 6. The sum of everything is 340. So you can easily get your, maybe the summary of your data set, of your column rather. You can easily get it here. So that's what this status bar is for. All right, so I think we've we've done a brief overview of what we actually have here. Yeah, we have formula bar. These are formula bar and this is our name box. Okay. Um I'm sure we know the difference between worksheet and workbook. This is a worksheet. This is an Excel worksheet. This thing, everything here is a worksheet. Then when you have multiple worksheets, this is another worksheet, this is another worksheet, this is another worksheet. But when you have multiple worksheets, everything here, this worksheet 1, sheet 5, sheet 6, and sheet 7, they are all called workbook. So you should know the difference between a worksheet and a workbook. When you are talking, maybe when you are doing something professional, you are talking about something professional, right? You are in a professional setting. You should not actually mistake these things, because it will reduce the way people see you. It will reduce the way people see you, and I don't know, it will reduce your steeze. All right, so let me just delete this one because we don't need them. Okay. So let's just work with this font formatting. Let's select a data set. So you can always change the font of your data set, of your inputs. Can see this C123 here. This one, you can see that it's changing. You can use different fonts, but then we actually don't want to work. We don't want to tamper with the formats, with the fonts that they used. All right, and also you can increase the size. This can always use this to increase the size, or this to reduce the size, or basically just this 16. You can just select anyone you want. Okay, we're on 11, so let's just leave it. This one is for these two, they are for the colors, and I don't think we need that. And I'm sure we know this is for bold, to make it bold, for italics, and then to underline. All right, so another thing is alignment. See this, can actually use everything here to align your data set. Can use it to align it maybe to the right, align left, and all. Okay, let me explain what this merge and center does. Okay, actually don't want to do this. What merge and center does basically is just like whatever is in your cells, all your what's in your cells. Okay, it works for multiple columns actually. Basically, most people use it for what I use it for multiple columns, but then I think when you use your merge and center, it's going to put everything together into one. It's going to put everything together into at the center. Okay. Let me just use something else to explain it. Okay, when you want to maybe work on something, maybe you want to give a report of this data set. You want to give a report and you should have a title. You can use this merge and center, because another thing, a very good thing that use this merge and center for is to merge different cells together into one cell. So it's possible to merge this everything here together, like everything here together into a single cell. So let's just see, you can see that this is a cell. If you want to move it to the next one, I want to click on the next. I'm clicking on the right, the key that will take me to the right on the navigation keys. So when I click on it, can you see that it took everything as one and then it moved to the next one? So you can see, if you want to go down, you can see it here. So everything here now is going to be one cell. So if you write anything here, let's say you want to give a report. So this is it. Can you see that the report is actually showing in everything, in all these columns that we merged? So let me make it bold. And bold, make it bold, make it big. Okay, I use this. This is fine. Then make it bold. You can see that okay, whatever you do in this place, they will know that okay, this is a report. this is a report you are giving. So we've used this particular tool to get this. Okay, let's move. Yeah, one thing. Then before you do your analysis, it is very, very advisable to use it is very advisable and it's always advisable to have a duplicate. Let me delete this. You might not need your duplicate, you might not need it, but you might need it. What if you need it? So you should always have a duplicate. Um, have a duplicate. You can always make a worksheet or maybe copy everything, copy all what you have here. Control A to select everything, to select all your data sets, use Control A. So you've selected everything. If you want to select everything, all the worksheets, you can just select, you can click on this plus here, what's here. So it's going to select everything. All right, so you can always copy Control A, then copy it, then go to your file, create a new file for it, right? Create another this would be like maybe a work, you can create a new workbook for it where you can input different worksheets. So well, a workbook can actually contain one sheet, so you can create a new workbook for it. So yeah, another thing you can do is you can easily copy Control A, then Control C, copy, then go here, create a new worksheet. Yeah, I created a new worksheet, then Control V, paste. So that's another way you can do this. Okay, Control Z. I don't think I want this. Let me delete. Another way you can do it is when you right click this sheet one, right click sheet one, then move or copy. You select this move or copy. So you can see sheet one, create a copy, select it, then okay. Um okay. So you can see that it's already duplicated it for us. Okay, so let's just let's just keep this as our duplicate, right? So let's work on this. This should be our just worksheet. So this is our worksheet. Okay, so moving on, I always advise people to um to convert your data set to a table format. But before we do that, can let's adjust the width of each let's adjust the width of each column. You can see that some columns are actually like this name column now. You can see that we cannot see everything. We just have to check the formula bar for you can see that everything here is long, but then we cannot see everything. We're only seeing we are seeing a few characters there. So you can what you can do is just click on this the margin, right? So you double click it. So it's going to adjust the width of the to adjust the width of the cells of the column in the sense that it's going to fit everything. You'll be able to see whatever everything in the cells under the column. So that's one other thing we can do. What okay, I'm sure we've loaded the two data sets I sent to the group. So let's convert this to a table. Go to your insert and then your table. This is a very easy way. This is a simple way, but then there's a simpler way which is Control T. You can see it here, table Control T. So let's just highlight all our cells, everything, then Control T. My table has headers. That's very true because our table has headers. Okay, so we have our data set in a table format. Now let's change the type. Basically it's more of a data type too. We have different data types. When you say this general is just like there is no specific, it's Excel does not sit as a specific, no specific data type, it's just there. Do we get? But most times your text can be in this general format, though there is a particular data set for data type for text. We have the scientific, we have the fraction, we have the percentage, we have the time, long date, short date, accounting, currency, number, and general. So this one is actually number. Let's just change it to numeric. So we can see that these three, they are numeric data types. So you can just select the three of them. Then when you select the first one, double click and then drag these three. Let's change them to number. So we can see these three. You can see that at this point dot zero zero, we don't need it. So we can use this to increase or decrease our decimal. We've been taught in the last class. So if we want to increase, this is it. But then we want to reduce it, we want to remove it. So this is our number now. These are, we have our numbers in the right format that we want. This one, okay, let's just check. This age too is in general. This one, this one. So let's just convert this three to, click on it, select it, then double click and drag. Or you can always left click. If you right click, it will show details about it, but then it's left, you left click and drag. So let's convert this to number, and then let's reduce the decimal points there. So yes, this is, we have this. Then this fare too, you can always use this because it's like, it's more of the transport fare, the ticket fare, the price they took the price they took the ship. Okay, so we can always convert it to currency or accounting. These two, they both have the fare, the currency feature. So let's just use currency, and then let's change the currency here. This is where you change your currency, this particular thing. So let's just use, because it's not obviously not in naira, so let's just use USD. And we have different options, can be euros, and then we have more. You can explore that. Okay. Um okay, let's work on the sort and filter. One very good advantage of um this table, when your data set is in table format, you can easily see this, you can easily sort and filter whatever you want. Do you get? You can sort this one from smallest to largest, largest to smallest, and then you can filter. If you don't want, okay, maybe you want to remove the ones that are equal to or less than 100, you can always use this feature for it, this filter button beside. And one thing, if your data set is not in table format, you can insert it too, you can use it too. Let's just, ideally we are not meant to use this particular data set. Let me, okay, let's just use it and then we'll undo it. So you can go to your data and then you put your filter there. You can see that the filter is shown here. Yeah, you can, that's why, one of the reasons why I added this to my, let me undo it, to my quick access toolbar, in the sense that you can see that I can just, instead of going to data and filter, sometimes you might forget where filter is, so you just go to filter, and you can just select this and then you have your filter. Let me undo it because we are not to touch this. Okay, okay, this is worksheet R. Okay, so let's move on. We have our inserts. We can actually get charts. You can use your charts on your data set. We are going to talk more about that in subsequent classes. And okay, pivot tables too. I as I said earlier, I use it a lot, so that's why it's even here. So you can actually use your pivot table. I don't want to go into this because we are going to explain it in our coming classes. Okay, think, okay. All right, so let's start with sort. Let's start with sorting. Okay, Let's sort this age now from the smallest to the largest. Yeah, before we do that, our duplicates, you should always check for duplicates whenever you are doing your analysis. Whenever you are doing your analysis, you must, because when you are working on a particular data set and then you have a lot of duplicates, you're going to be doing the wrong thing. You get wrong analysis. So that's one thing that is here in our home tab. That's in our data tab rather. That's a very important feature in our data tab. This is remove duplicates. So can always you should remove duplicates. We are going to do more practicals on this as the class as we move into the class. Okay, so the task I have here, I have some tasks for us, and then let me first explain how we'll do it. Let's use this age. So now let's sort it from smallest to the largest. So what I just did is that, okay, let me undo Control Z. We have different ages here. We have 22, we have 38, we have 26, we have 35, we have different ages here. This is one important thing the filter does, is that you can easily check the range of your age. You can see that we have it from 0, scroll down, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's going, so it's actually sorted everything in order here. So you can see that your age is from 0 to 80. So we have, can always know that, okay, the youngest in this place is actually 0 and the oldest is 80. So we can sort it by smallest to the largest, in the sense that the smallest ones will be up, like this 0 will be up instead of having 22, 38, 26 and all. The smallest will be up while the largest will be down. So let's just sort smallest to largest. So you can see that this person is 0 year old, this Thomas master. Okay, you can see that sorted everything from, let's check everything. No, we can't because the data set has, I think, 800 and something. Let's check for the data set the number of columns we have or rows we have using our quick access toolbar. So you can see we have count 715. Okay, we have 715, 714 here. Let's confirm to be, even though we know it is actually okay. Okay, let's, okay, why was it showing which one age? Okay, the reason why this age was the reason why the age is not showing everything, right? It's showing 715 instead of 892, 892 that is meant to bring, is because we've used this filter. So it already filtered everything. So in that way, it removed the blanks. You can see that there are some blanks here. It did not count the blanks. So let's just undo the filter, clear filter. Okay, just Control Z. All right, so let's remove the filter and check others. Okay, you can see that these ones are actually not, they are not, how do I explain it? These ones are not, they don't have blanks, right? So let's confirm. So we have, these ones don't have blanks. So you can see that the count of the valid inputs, right? 200 and 892. We have 892 rows. It counted the header row too, right? I think we've talked about that. So the numeric count is this. Okay, so this one actually has missing values. That's why the count is less than what it should be. Okay, so let's continue what we're doing. So let's sort it. Let's use largest to smallest now. So you can see that it started 80, 74, 71, 71, 70. You can see that it sorted everything here. Okay, so let's go back. Let's remove the, let's just Control Z. All right, so that is one thing that you can do with your sort. So the I'll be giving us some exercises to do. I'll be giving us some exercises to do. So in the first one, as I'm saying it, you should actually do it. So the first thing you should do using this particular data set is to load. Okay, we've loaded the data set. I'm sure we should have done that. Then you should sort it by age. First sort it by age. When you are done, sort it by class, then sort it by this survived. The survived is in 0 and 1, so you can always, you should try it, because it's meant to be it's meant to be a practical thing. So this survived, you should sort it by how they survived. Okay, is very easy, right? Okay, I'm sure we are working on that now. Okay. All right, let's move on. The other thing we should do, let's move to the next, to the other data sets. So we have it here. So this is our data set. Then I think the first thing, let's first have a duplicate, right? Let me name this worksheet 2. Worksheet. Okay, so let's do the same. Control A. If we should, please don't forget Control A to select everything. Control A, then can paste it here, right? Okay, let's use copy and paste here. Control V. Okay, I Control C. After you select everything, you copy Control C, then you paste Control V. I already explained it earlier that there are lots of ways, there are different ways that you can do this. I used a method for the first data set, and then I'm using another method for this second data set. You use any one that you feel is convenient for you. Even though the fastest one, I don't know, can always use this. I think I would advise you to stick with this move or copy. Okay, so we have our data set here, and then let's we are just trying to, since we are not really doing analysis and we are just using this data set to explain, to just work on how to navigate yourself around Excel. So let's increase the width of this and this. Okay, I think this is always easier to use the Control A and then adjust one. Okay, so let's convert our data set to table too. That's Control A and then Control T. So my table has headers. Okay. So I'm just doing this in a way because as I'm working on two data sets, I think we'll get it more. In case you've forgotten what I did in the first one, this one will actually help you to like understand it better. And then when you see it twice, I think it's easier to, you remember it faster than when you see it just once. All right. So let's work on this. Let's go to home tab, then let's use our format, invoice number. Okay, this one should be numeric, but I think it's basically like an ID number, so let's just leave it in general because this is I3, it has various data types, so that's why the best here is general, because we cannot use text because this is and I is a text, but then this 137 and all. They're actually not text, they are numbers. So if you use number, it will be unfair for the I, and then if you use text, it will be unfair on the this 317. So let's just leave it as general, right? So we have our customer ID too, leave it as general. Gender is text actually, but then you can leave it as general since it is text. We have age. As this thing is seeing this age as a number, even though we did not, it is not defined here. The reason why it is seeing it as a number is that in Excel, when you have something that is numeric, right? Or let me use 200. When you have something that is numeric, it's going to, the alignment is going to, it will be aligned to the right. Can you see that this is to the right? When you are reading it, there are spaces here, so it is aligned to the right. But then when you are text, right, putting in a text like hello, can see that it is aligned to the right. So that's, can see that this one is actually, let's just define it. Let's just define it. Well, number, and then okay, let's reduce the number of let's reduce the number of decimal places. Let's do the same here too. Number. Excel has actually seen it as a number. So it's converted everything to two decimal places for the sake of uniformity. That's how Excel does. That's how Excel is. So this one is general. Let's just leave it there. Then this one, general. This is a date. So let's just format it. Date, short date, short date. Yeah. So the let's, this one too should be general. Quantity should be number. Okay. Age should be number. Okay, let's just convert it. Let's just leave it. Let's just convert it general, then reduce the decimal. So that's how to do it. Um, let's remove this one. We actually don't need it. Okay, so let's move on to the sort and filter. The sort and filter is always available here in our data tab. It's always available here. You can see sort, ascending, sort, descending. Then we have filter. Yeah, and okay, it's in our home tab too. You can see it here, sort and filter. But then it is very easy when you have your data set in table format. Okay. Um okay, let's, the task I'll give us now is using this particular data set, sort let me check, sort the sort the data sets by product category, or no, by age, rather age. So you can always sort it by age. Let me just do this then. Sort from smallest to largest. So we have it here, smallest to largest. Okay. Um. Okay. Can also, you also sort it by the quantity too. Can always do that. Sort it by quantity, sort it by price, just for you to master this. For you to master these things. Okay. Then another thing that I want us to know, that I want us to talk about is the filter. Yeah, this sort doesn't only work for numeric data, for numeric data types alone. Can also sort it A to Z. You can see, let's sort this A to Z. So you can see that letter B is coming first, and then okay. Just the data set is large. Okay, let's use this. Can see clothing next. That's C. Then cosmetics, food, shoes, souvenir, technology, toys. So that's it. The sort also sorts, it's, what it does is that it will sort it alphabetically, right? A first, then B, then C, then D, then E to Z. Okay, so that's how the sort works. Okay, I went back to what I did to the way it was. I used Control Z. You know that Control Z is on. Okay, so you can also another task sort it by okay gender. Yeah, gender. You can sort it. Male should come first, female should come first. If you want male to come first, you know that F is before M, so you can just sort it ascending. That's A to Z. So you can see male, female first, then female first. The reason why it is actually like loading, the reason why it is loading is because the data set is a very large data set. So it's a large data set, and then we said something about limitations of Excel. This is one of the limitations of Excel in the sense that this data set is very large. So we might not be able to do some things on it. And there are some particular data sets. If you load 1 million rows into this, you will most likely not be able to do anything. Especially if your system is not that strong, you will most likely not be able to do anything on it. So that's one limitation. But if you can see that when we are working with this Titanic data set, I don't think it gave us I don't think it should give us issues sort A to Z. So you can see that it came up fast. So that's one thing that Excel is limited to. Okay. So now let's talk about filter. Let's assume we want to check for the people that have age of maybe, let's say, less than 50. We just want to show only those that are less than 50 years of age, right? You can do this, maybe you should start on selecting you should start selecting what you want to select. Just click on select this, select all, then start selecting 18, 19, 20. That's actually a very long thing to do. But then you can use number filters, then less than 51. You can have multiple conditions actually. You can say maybe it's less than 51 and greater than no, it should be less than 51 and maybe greater than 60. That means it's going to show 0 to 51, then 60 and above. No, that's 61 and above. Okay. But then it's only less than 51 we want to show. Okay. So it has shown. Let's check it now. Let's scroll down. We have 26, and then the last thing we have here, we have 42. It's a very large data set actually. Okay, can see that the highest here is 50. What I actually did was, can just, if you want to select everything like from head to toe, from the top to the last, just use shift. You click on your shift, your control shift, and then if you want to select it up, just um go up, click on this navigation key, this key to navigate up, page up, right? So when you do that, it's going to go to your top row, the very top is going to select everything. But when you want to go down to the last one, you just use only control down, right? Can see when I clicked on control down, it took me to the last thing here. So you can see that the highest here is 50 because we set our filter. The data set is very, very large. So I think I have sent this to the group. I'll I'll make another one that is less than. I'll just select the first 1000 and send it to the group. So you can always use that. If this one is hanging on your system, you can always use that one to you can always use that. It will be easier for you, and then the workload will reduce on your system. So you see that shift, when you click on control, then the page up is going to take you to the top, then control the right, this right, can you see that it took us to this, to the very right, to the column that is at the very right. Same thing for left, and then if you click on it again, it takes you to the last column you have in Excel, right? So let's go back. Then this, okay. So sometimes when you want to select everything here and you don't want to select your age, you can just click on this 18. You click on your first column, the very first thing you want to, the one that will be at the top, right? So then you go in with your shift control and page down. What this shift does, let me just explain what shift will just, it will select it down. If you click on shift now, if you press your shift and then your shift will be pressed, and then you click on your navigation keys. So you, when my shift is, I already pressed my shift, and then when I go page down, 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 can you see that it's selecting everything? And you know, control will move everything to the top. So when you do this too, it will select everything and then go to the top or go to the bottom. So I think that's just by the way. Okay, so I explained that's how sorting works. Okay, I'm undoing everything. Okay. Yeah, so one other thing you can do. Okay, after let's go to the Titanic data set, and then let's use the filter tool. Let us filter it by fair, yes. Let's check. Sort largest to smallest. You can see that the largest here is this 500 and something. Then okay, so control Z. Okay, so let's filter it. Let's filter it. Um, okay, we have blank. This is our blank, right? So filter it by, let's filter out those that are less than, should we use, let's filter, let me first check sort largest to smallest, or can just check everything here. Okay, 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 okay. Let's just select only those that are 20, less than 20 or less than 20, right? So let's choose it. You click on this filter button, right? So go to your number filter, then less than or equal to 20. Okay, so we can see that it's all the ones that it brought out, they're actually less than or equal to 20. Let's check everything. Okay, okay, okay. So when you use that, it will actually not bring out stuffs that, it will not bring out stuffs that are greater than 20. Do we get? So that's how the filter button works. That's how the filter works. So, and what I'll just tell you to do, you can filter it by age, sort according to age, right? And then you can use the filter on age. And use the filter, maybe filter out those that are less than 50. Then this one too. You know, we said this survived is 0, and this survived is 0 and 1. 0 means the person died, then 1 means the person did not die. Do we get? So you can, let's, you can, if you want to show only people that died, you can just, this one, instead of just using, you can unselect everything, or just leave it like this, unselect 1, so it will show only this 0. So let's see, you can see that showed only people that died, all these people died. So that's how it is. And then can filter, let's check only those that survived now. So you can see that this will show those that survived. And then can you see it here? 143 out of 891 records found. So these are the number of people that survived, and that means 143 people survived. Let's check the number of people that died. Then let's check. Can see that 370. Hey, I don't think it's working for all. Then select all. You. Mm, okay, I don't think this analysis is actually correct, but I'll stick to that. Can see this row 72, row blah blah blah. Well, so can see that the last one here is row 680. So I think it's 680 that is meant to be there. Do you get? So let's go back. You can, if you want to remove the filter, you can see clear filter from survived. So it has removed the filter. Okay. This one is not showing all our data sets. Okay. The reason is that we've added filter to this fair before. We added filter to this fair. So that's why it's already filtered. It's not all our data sets we are using. All the data sets we are using is actually data sets of prices that are less than or equal to, is it 20 we used now? Less than or equal to 20, right? And then so we are working with just 515 same rows. We are working with 515 rows. So out of those 515, well, this is also something you can do. It's also a way of checking, of exploring your data. So you can just say one. Let's check the people that died. So you can say out of those that survived, out of those that died, right? 372 of them had they paid fare of less than 20 or 20 and below. Do we get? So let's just remove filter from everything here. Clear filter from fare. Let's first clear filter from this. Then okay. So that means those that are less than 500, those are less than 20, they're actually 515. Okay, let's go back. Let's clear filter. So our we have our everything back. So now let's check for those that survived. Zero, then okay. Okay, one. Those that survived, can see that 342. Okay, let's check everything back. Then you can also sort it this one, maybe the can you can sort this one smallest to largest. Okay, so I think with this we already know very well about, we already know how the filter button works, how the customer button works. So for the other data set, you should let me check what we can do for this shopping data set. Another way to use your filter, I already explained it, is that you can unselect and select it from this place, right? So for the customer data set, try try filtering out only the male, try it for only the female. um then filter, try it for the product category too. Product category, for the category here, you can just check out for the ones for only books, right? And then yes, one other thing that I want to talk about is the freeze pane. Freeze pane, well, it is automatic for this because it is in table format. Let's check this. Oh wow, we've been working on our duplicates instead of our worksheets. Well, we did not touch this, so this one can actually be the duplicate. Let's rename it as our duplicates. All right, so we can, what I want to explain, if you can see, you know that the header row is this invoice number, customer, gender, age. Whatever we do here, I'll actually undo it because it is our duplicate. I just want to use it to explain that I just want to use it to explain how freeze pane works, right? So we have quantity, price, payment, and then you have this data set is a lot. So this F now, you might have forgotten what F is for. Okay, what is F for? Is it for maybe number of children or whatever? Okay, you know it's the quantity, right? Okay, this one is even easy to understand or easy to know. This one, what if, is it our profit or is it our discount or is it our, do we have to always go back up to check? What if the data set we have is actually a lot, or maybe we have a lot of columns? So what you can always do, what you can do is to freeze this top, in the sense that anytime you are scrolling up or scrolling down, this one will still be static. So it is under your view tab. So when you check on your view tab, then you use your freeze pane. This is it, freeze pane. So then freeze top row. Let's, oh, it is Ctrl Z. Okay, view, freeze pane, freeze first column rather. So okay, I don't know why this is not working. Freeze, oh, it's freeze first row. Yes, it's freeze first row. I'm sorry. It's actually took time to come up because the data sets, I don't know. So that's why it's not actually freeze first column. You feel you are, we are freezing the first row. So you can see that no matter where we go, we still have this header row, this top row here. We have our quantity. Okay, this is our quantity, this is our price. So we freezed the we froze the top row actually. So okay, so I think that's all. If you have questions, please do well to drop them at the comments section. Thank you very much, and I hope we learned a lot from this class. And I want to advise us that please make sure you work on data sets. You can just get data sets from anywhere. Get data sets from Kaggle. This data set was gotten from Kaggle. All the data sets actually were gotten from Kaggle. So you should get data sets and then work on them. Just try your hands on what you learned. With that, you're going to gain mastery, because not everybody learns these things overnight. No, I can boldly tell you that before I mastered some of these things, I I learnt I learnt them normally. I learnt the way we are all learning. I learnt them. I watched videos for some of them, and then I forgot. I had to go back to check. But with practice, I gained mastery. So please, let's work on this data set, and then you can explore the sort and the filter option. Then yeah, one thing here, let's undo what we did here. This is our duplicate. Okay, let's go to Titanic data set. Okay, we have these two data sets, so you can always work on them and do something. Just try your hands on what you learned. Okay, I'll get just the first 1000 rows from the second data set and send to the group. So please, if you have questions, you can always send them to me. You can always comment, drop them at the comment section, and they'll be attended to. All right. So thank you very much for joining, and I hope we learned something tangible. Right. I hope we learned something tangible. Okay. We've ended the class, but then let me give you one. Let me just say something. Before I learned where this filter button is, I was always checking. But then after I did it 20 times at least, there's no way there's no way you will do something, you will not know where it is after doing it, after practicing. All right, so with this, we've come to the end of today's class. Thank you very much for watching, and please drop your questions at the comment section. Thank you so much.